Hello, everybody. We are back with my podcast talking all things Charlotte, real estate related, and just community related. And today I'm super excited to have my friend and longtime vendor partner, Tony with RGS Pros, here with us to talk all things roofing. So maybe not the most fun topic, the most sexy topic, and yet super important if you own a home. So we're going to just jump right in and talk about roofs. How's that sound?
All right, let's do it.
All right. So Tony, tell the audience, tell me a little bit about why roofing. You started your own business.
Yes.
How many years has it been? How'd you get started?
We are officially in our second year of business right now. I've been in the industry personally for 8 years now. I got started with a previous company who gave me the opportunity. I was in real estate for about 15 years prior to that. And so I understand both sides of the equation. I'm a licensed broker in Florida and here in the Carolinas as well. But I held up my cleats because your job is very difficult. I actually really enjoy what I do right now. I help add value to a lot of deals. Still involved in the real estate world, but without having to really be in the neck of the woods that pertains to your industry and the constant shifts and all that stuff. But
you get to deal with our fun inspection reports.
That is the pleasure of my business.
Yeah.
But I'm a problem solver by nature. So it just comes naturally to try to help out people. And when I see those home inspection reports, the first thing is to get people to calm down and realize that these are first world problems.
Yep.
And that everything has a solution. One of the big myths out there is that these solutions cost a lot of money. And although they can, there's always ways to try to, minimize that expense. We are in a very climate-friendly environment where, we don't get a lot of storms. So there's always ways to help prolong the life of the roof or the gutters, just through maintenance and through repairs, which a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people anticipate it's just a full roof replacement, so they're scared to even call. And then once they call, the problem is so much larger than what it appears. But got started 8 years ago in the business through another entity. Was a vice president of that company for about 6.5 years, and learned the game. Became the go-to person for brokers on solving those problems, and probably about 40% of my business comes from real estate brokers right now.
Awesome.
So I'm really entrenched in the day-to-day with the market and helping buyers and sellers relax and brokers get to the closing table.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Yep. Well, you're my number one. I refer you all the time. Absolutely. You've done my personal house, my roof, and it was, very smooth.
Awesome. It's not leaking, so that's a good sign.
It's not leaking. No, it's good to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Several years ago now. But yeah, I love that you are relationship based, referral based. You don't try to sell anybody like, unfortunately, a lot of other maybe companies in the area, especially after we have storms.
Yeah.
But you'll kind of tell it how it is, which is something I really value. And honestly, I don't know if this is good or bad, but half the time you come out or go out to a client's house, you actually don't recommend what the inspection report says.
Yeah. So there's a lot of times where the home inspector is clearly doing his job and they know exactly what needs to go on. There's some times where the actual expense to the repair far exceeds what the actual risk is, right? So we just try to be brutally honest. Although I do want to charge or make that money, trust me.
Sure.
We need it. Sometimes it's something that necessarily doesn't have to be done. On paper it may, right? Engineers and all this, but sometimes
the roof's not going to cave in.
Yeah, exactly.
Most likely.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not. It's. We like to say if the roof is functioning as intended, let's not tie up a deal or let's not make the homeowner, drop an expense that's absolutely not completely necessary.
And yet educating in the process, of course. Hey, this is not ideal right now, but it should last you a couple more years,
I love
whatever.
time spans too. So, hey, this is an issue. If you don't get it resolved within the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to have an issue, right? So that gives the homeowner time to say, hey, we got to put away these funds. We got to replace the roof. It's going to be X amount of money, or we got to do this repair within 2 to 3 years. So that way, like nobody's having to come out of pocket right at, at the last minute.
Yeah, totally.
So that's one of the things I really enjoyed.
So tell me a little bit more about RGS Pros. Where did it come from? I know what it stands for. I'm going to let you tell our audience what it stands for.
Yeah.
But it's more than roofing, you guys. And tell us more.
Yeah, definitely more than roofing. It's in the name. RGS Pros is roofing, gutters, and siding professionals. It got started by, I don't like to say coincidence, but God incidents. After being self-employed in real estate for 15, 20 years, I decided I wanted to hang up my entrepreneurial hat and no longer pursue that passion. But just,
and here you are starting your own business.
Here it is. When you're very focused on the person and the community, you kind of have to dictate your own pace in order to achieve that, in order to create really tight relationships with the community, right? Sometimes other entities have a different way of doing things that might not align with yours. So you got to kind of, bob and weave as it goes. So having my own company now allows me to really be service oriented, not have to push things, really go deliver a roof assessment and tell people, hey, you don't have to touch this for 2 to 3 years. When if you're not on your own, you got to provide, you got to make money, you got to, so it just allows me a little bit more flexibility to be who I am naturally. Yeah. So it takes a selling element out of things and you just go out and, do the right thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with real estate agents too. I mean, there's plenty of realtors like me who are relationship based and referral and sphere and all those things. And then there's also tons of realtors that are transaction based and both have great success. And it's just a matter of what you're more comfortable with. And for me, it's the same as you. It's relationship based and providing value throughout the whole process.
Yeah, that was well said. There, there's door knockers, for instance, right, in the roofing industry. And they'll go knock on 100 doors and they'll...
Especially after storms.
Tell people they have the storm, whatever. They're not really there for the relationship, right? And that's okay. They make a ton of money. They do a great job. It just doesn't work for me. Like, it's not in my nature to be that guy. So if I'm not on my own and you're kind of forced to do something you're not, you can create a mindset to go do it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't flow naturally. So being on my own just allows me to, do the business model the way I want to.
Totally. Something for everyone.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yep.
Very cool. So roofing, gutters, and siding. Yes. Like you said, most gutters, especially siding, is kind of more of an afterthought.
Yeah. Exactly.
And yet still kind of wraps the house and still super important.
Yep.
So we're getting into fall now. Do you clean gutters or just install them?
We don't clean gutters.
Okay.
Just because fortunately we're very busy.
Good.
So to have to provide labor to do that is expensive. When there's other companies who dedicate themselves to just cleaning gutters, and they could be very favorable to the customer. So, it wouldn't be a disservice. Now, if we do sell gutter guards, right? To block these leaves from getting into the gutters. So when we install gutter guards, we clean the gutters for free. It's just part of the same cost because we're not going to put gutter guards on top of dirty gutters. It doesn't make sense. So we do them, just not as, a solo type business model.
So I have gutter guards, but I also live in Starmount in a neighborhood with tons of beautiful, lots of leaf trees. And so I have them at my house because of leaves. Yep. Does everyone need gutter guards? Or only if you have trees?
I live in a new home community.
Okay.
So when I got in there, I was like, I don't need gutter guards, And then one day I was backing out of my house. It was raining. I see coming out of the downspout this long rope of leaves just coming out. And I was like, well, I need gutter guards. So from personal experience, I think everybody needs gutter guards.
Yep.
They are not what people think they are. I put gutter guards. I never have to attend to my gutters again. That's not the case.
I learned
No matter how good the design is, at least once a year you have to have them, the debris blown off of them and things of that nature because preventative stuff is what's going to keep you from spending the big bucks, right?
Totally.
People don't want to spend money up front. Oh, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't need to be done. Well, you're going to cause it to need to be done if you don't just,
do it.
Proactively do it.
Yeah. So can you replace your gutters and or gutter guards without replacing a roof?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people think that that's not the case.
Right.
Some people don't even know what the gutters actually do, right? So like I go to homeowners sometimes and they're like, what are these for? So I love it because it's an opportunity to explain what it is.
Absolutely.
And then when people really grasp what they're for and all the help it causes, then they're like eager to spend the money.
Getting water away from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the educational standpoint is, and that's why I don't mind doing free estimates, right? Because you go out there and just educate, right? The person may not pull the trigger right there, but they're planning on it, right? 6 months, a year, you get a call from the same person. Hey, you came by, you gave me a quote on this. Is this quote still good? and then we move forward. So when you're community based and you're focused on that, the business will come later on down the line.
Absolutely.
And when you're here for the long haul, it's okay. You're not looking to close that sale right there. Like if it comes later on, it's just going to add value and continue to flow. So.
Well, and that kind of jumping around a little bit, but that's one of the things that I really like about your business model. And I hate to kind of advertise it because I don't want people to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But free estimates. I mean, at least in the real estate transaction, okay, we get an inspection report. The roof might have issues, crawl space, this and this and this. And then the buyer client is super overwhelmed. And okay, so now I have to pay for all these estimates to come out. And then I might not even get anything fixed or have anything paid for. The fact that, and I know some companies do this, but a lot of them don't either. Free estimates are really good.
Yeah.
It helps us get you guys out there and then promote you even further and actually to get the job. But it helps the homeowners and the clients too.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like if you're calling to diagnose an issue, like charging for that is tough. Although it does cost us money, gas, time.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you're there to educate. And for me, I just look at it like marketing. I'm able to get in front of homeowners, introduce who I am, let the relationship and the energy do the talking. And if they want to hire me later on down the line, it's great. I've had customers that I go and they don't even end up doing the job, but they've referred me to 3 or 4 of their neighbors who have.
Love it.
Right? So
Love it.
It's all in God's hands, really.
So your business is primarily referral
all
now,
based.
even only 2 years in the business.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank God. I've created a bond and a relationship with the community, and my phone just rings. Yeah,
that's amazing.
I'm born and raised in Miami, and I moved here, 8 years ago. December will be 8 years, and I remember when I first moved here, I was getting out of real estate, and I'm like, the first thing I have to do is just get my phone to ring. Right, brand new community, you got to introduce yourself to everybody, create trust with everybody.
And it takes time.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
And just little by little, it builds, and now my phone doesn't stop, which is a blessing.
Awesome. It's a great problem to have. So let's talk a little bit more about like actual roofing problems and what to expect. So we're in Charlotte. It's hot. We sometimes get hurricanes. We get the bad summer, spring storms, hail sometimes. I know there was a big hailstorm last year, I think, that caused some problems. What are the most common roofing issues, I guess, that you guys see aside from like inspection report things?
Yeah. So the most common ones, storm-related, are definitely wind and hail.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones really that an insurance company will cover. So you may have the regular leak, and if it's not storm-related, the insurance is not going to cover it.
Yeah.
Which is something that a lot of homeowners don't understand.
And you have to prove that.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the free estimates is going out there, identifying what's on there. If there's evidence, documenting it the correct way so that we could put together the right story for the adjuster to come on and say, hey, this is the storm date. This is the evidence that we have. And this is why we encourage the homeowner to put the claim, right?
So pause there for a minute, because I remember we were doing a transaction up at Huntersville, Mooresville area, and I had no idea this existed. We had some items on the inspection report, called you out to look at it, and we weren't expecting it, but you pull out an app or something on your phone that talks about, like, this storm happened on this date with this wind.
Yes.
And it allowed us to be able to submit that to insurance, and I don't remember exactly, but I think they were able to get it replaced. But I had no idea that existed.
Yeah, it's technology is amazing.
And that's what you mean by providing evidence.
Exactly. So if we have the evidence on the roof, then we'll go ahead and pull a storm report. That way, that storm report shows us a graph of where the storm hit, if the property falls within that line, what size the hail was, which is very important because it could be pea-size hail that doesn't really impact these shingles, and then identify the date that it happened as well. So that way we have all the ammo. So when the adjuster's like, oh, I don't know if there was hail here. Well, look, we have a storm on X date. It was right in this vicinity. This is the size of the hail, and here's the evidence that it damaged the roof.
So cool. Yeah.
So it helps put the story together. And most of the time, those adjusters are going to pull the same report. So when they come, they already have the date. So if we can align together, and just amicably come to a solution.
You're proactively doing some of the work for them.
It helps out the homeowner.
Yeah, totally. So in our area, the general Charlotte area, wind and hail.
Yes.
More so wind. More common wind.
Yeah.
I
More common
assume.
winds. until most recently, we've had a lot of hailstorms in the last 2 years, which is uncommon. But we have had a lot of storms. We've gotten a lot more roofs approved in the last 2 years than normal. Before that, we really hadn't had a major storm probably since 2014, 15, around that area.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's helping a lot of homeowners out, you know?
Very cool.
And especially when it comes to you brokers, the free roof assessment is so imperative because the actual homeowner at the current time of the storm is the one that has to put the claim.
Yes, that's a big
If they sell and then the buyer puts the claim later, they would not have been the insured during that storm, so they'll get denied automatically.
Woo! Did you hear that? That is good to know.
Yeah,
Brokers, tell your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always encourage, get an assessment, costs nothing, go out there, check it out. We'll give a report of what needs to get done if there's wind or hail, or we'll also give a longevity on the roof. So, okay, the roof is, 10 years old, based on the elements and the tree surrounding it and things of that nature. We'll give this roof another, 10 to 12 years. That way the buyer has peace of mind knowing, hey, I'm going into a property that's going to be secure. Yeah.
Very cool. So what are I'm a homeowner. I am a homeowner, but I don't think about my roof often until I see a water stain on my ceiling and, oh my gosh, I might have a roofing problem. Aside from before getting to that point, what are some things that homeowners and or agents can look for before, oh my gosh, there's a huge hole in my roof?
Yeah, so some attics are very safe to get into, right?
Not mine.
So if there's attics that are safe to get into, I always encourage the homeowner to go in there, once a year, every 6 months if they can, and look around to see if any daylight is coming through any of the ventilations.
Realistically, who does that?
Nobody.
Right.
Or call us and we'll gladly come out and take a look. Those are some common things. If you see any like shingles that are sliding off or, popping up, indication of pop nails, which I know we've had a conversation about.
Yeah.
Roofs all require maintenance. People don't understand that. Oh, what do you mean? I have a 30-year roof. I installed it. I don't have to look at it for 30 years. I mean,
be nice.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't exist. Every year in the Carolinas, these homes expand and contract. So that expansion and contraction of the wood, makes these flashings, these nails, things of that nature shift and move around. And they got to be modified in order to continue to give you that longevity, So those are some of the things. Gutters, obviously, you don't want full of leaves because then it causes the water to overflow.
Sit there.
Go behind the wood and things and damage fascia, soffit. A lot of things that can happen. And then siding, if things are falling apart, if things are, the siding is sliding or something, then you got to address those things. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you leading right into it, what's the best maintenance schedule for a typical shingle roof?
So
what does that look like?
The most common maintenance is every 6 to 8 years on a roof. Right?
What does maintenance mean?
Maintenance means all of the rubber flashings that go around the ventilations. So these shingles these days are made very, very well. They really will give you that 25, 30-year lifespan, right? Okay. They're made very well. They're almost hail resistant. They're almost unlimited wind rating. They're really, really good.
Okay.
What tends to leak all the time is any time that there's a hole through the roof, so a penetration.
The boots, right?
Absolutely. Those penetrations have to be flashed. Those flashings are made of rubber most of the time, so they only give you, good 5-7 years out of them. They crack. The sun eats them up.
Yeah.
So as long as you maintain those, every 6 years or so, then you will get that longevity out of the roof the way it's intended to be. Many people don't know that. So what happens once they call us, it's leaking. And if you caught the leak in time, it's just replace the boot. But now if you didn't catch it in time, now the wood underneath is rotten. Now you have to remove shingles, replace the rotten wood, right? So the repair becomes more expensive, right? So if we could just get people educated, get them to understand, what needs to get done. Once they know, they're aware of it, hopefully they jot it down and make a whole proactive list for your house. But
just like anything else inside the house.
We're busy.
Yeah.
People barely take care of their bodies.
Yeah.
So imagine,
God, that's true.
We got to remember to get our physicals and all that stuff. The house is the same thing.
Yeah. Very cool. So piggybacking on ages. Yes. So 20-year, 30-year shingles is what we always hear. Yep. What does that really mean?
That means that the actual material and the way that they put the shingles together are intended to give you that lifespan. Now, that lifespan is nationwide per se, right?
Right. I mean,
so weather conditions change, right? There's people in Texas who get their roof replaced today and the hail hits tomorrow, right?
Right,
And they're getting
right.
the roof replaced constantly. Here, we do get, 25, 30 years. You could definitely get that out of your roof.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you something that's changing, and it's changed, and you know this very, very well. Insurance companies
Oof.
are now not
Yes.
wanting to insure a roof over 10 years old.
Yes.
So imagine us, we're going out there selling a 30-year warranty, 30 to 50-year warranty, and then these insurance companies are wanting the roof replaced after 10 years. We've been able to talk deals to closing many times where they say this roof needs to be replaced or the homeowner's not going to get insured. We go out there, we do a free inspection, we document everything, and we say this roof has 5 to 7 years left of life. And then I like to see the insurance company argue that, right? So far, we have a 100% success rate.
Really?
Oh, yeah, 100% success
Wow.
rate. And,
Okay.
and I've had instances where they don't accept my email. So I'm like, okay, let's get them on a conference call. Get them on a conference call, tell them exactly why I said what I said, who we are. We're a company that's community-based. We're not out there trying to get a sale.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's easier for me to just say, oh, the insurance company said, let's replace it. Let's go do that. But, I think it's not ethical, right? So
Of course, yeah.
the ethical manner is, okay, this roof really does have this lifespan. There's no leaks. There's no daylight coming through. They just maintain the pipe boots. They have another 6 to 8 years left of life. So why are we going to make this homeowner replace that roof, right?
I love that. Again, going back to educating, taking care of clients,
Yep.
and relationship based.
And doing the right thing when no one's watching.
Doing the right thing. That's right.
That's when things get easy.
Okay, so going back to, for my job, inspection reports can often look really, really scary for buyers, especially first-time home buyers, especially if they're buying an older home. And I get it, it's the inspector's job to point out every single thing. Something that I see literally on almost every single report, even new construction sometimes, are nail pops.
Yes.
And what are they? Are they really that bad? Are they
Yeah.
fixable?
They're very fixable. The reason you see them on all of them is because they're very easy to spot from the ground.
Because you can actually see it,
You
like
can actually see the
raised a little
shingle
bit.
raised up, right?
Yeah.
So what happens with that is that water can easily get underneath in wind-driven rain, and then wind can get underneath too and rip them off. Unfortunately, it happens annually because of expansion and contraction of the roof decking below.
Okay.
Every time the house shifts, it causes those nails to pop up. So we go in there, we remove those, you seal the hole where it was, and it helps, keep the shingle flat the way it's intended to be so it functions correctly.
Maintenance? Would you call that maintenance?
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds easy,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we do a program that's called proactive prevention.
Okay.
And that's so people, proactively prevent
Yeah.
these issues from happening. And it entails all of those roof boots, changing them out with new, removing the pop nails, and then we add caulking to all the vulnerable areas on the roof. So any flashings, caulking also only lasts, 3 to 5 years,
Yep.
right? The sun eats it up. Caulking is amazing, right? It's going to help prolong the life of that roof as best as possible, so long as it's in, new condition. So that maintenance is imperative.
Very cool. Okay, so tell us more about that program.
So that program runs $950.
Okay.
It's done once every 6 to 8 years.
Okay.
So you're spending less than $1,000, once every 6 to 8 years to really help protect your home from its most important part, which is the roof.
Yeah.
We go in there, all of those pipe boot flashings that were damaged or naturally damaged, we replace them completely. We don't just caulk over them. We don't Band-Aid
Wow.
it. We completely replace it. Then there's furnace vents, right? Those furnace vents penetrate through the roof. They have what's called a skirt on it. That skirt with the wind over the course of time goes shifting. So if you look through your attic, you're going to see automatic daylight coming through that thing if it's shifted.
Yep.
When there's daylight coming through, that means the water can come through. This happens on many, many roofs. Probably the number one cause for phone calls. They call us a leak. I can almost identify exactly what it is without even going out to the property.
And again, on almost every single inspection report
Correct.
is loose vent
Yeah,
pipes
yes.
and boots and all the things.
Yeah. And they're easy to spot. The
Yeah.
home inspector goes into the attic, just looks up, you see that daylight coming through, it's a no-no. right?
Check.
Needs to be addressed ASAP.
Yep.
So that proactive prevention is gold. It really is. But of course, a lot of people think, hey, you're just trying to sell me something. My roof is not
course,
leaking.
yeah.
I don't want to do it now. And I'm like, all right, here we are. This is the information. Educate yourself. And if you choose to do it, you don't. I've had homeowners refuse and then call me when that wood is rotten. Now that estimate just jumped up by another, $500.
And now they're mad at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So, but it's all good. You just educate and teach and hope people listen.
Cool. I love that program.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
Do a lot of people take advantage of it?
They do.
Yeah.
At least my customer base, they trust me. They know I've been in the industry a while, and they know that a large majority of my business is repairs. A lot of roofing companies don't want to touch repairs. They just want to rip off, put on, and I get it. Great business model. It works very well, but if something's broke, we could fix it, right? So,
do your customers pay up front for that program?
No, they don't. They pay once a job is complete.
So they just enroll in it and
yeah. They don't really have to enroll in it. It's just call and keep up with the house, and we go do the assessment. If those items are due, then we document it in an estimate, and we go out and knock it out for them.
Very cool.
And we do warrant our repairs. So people who most roofing companies that do repairs don't really want to provide a warranty. We give a 1-year warranty on all of our repairs, so it's very helpful.
Okay, so really not fun part, but pricing. So you said it. I hear it all the time. Everyone's really scared of replacing their roof because it is really expensive, or that's what we think.
Yeah.
And it can be for sure. So tell us a little bit about what that actually means, pricing.
So pricing varies big time
Yeah.
because you have obviously several different sizes of homes.
Sure.
You also have different pitches of homes, right? So some are more dangerous to do than others. So the price will always vary. But on average, what I see in my experience is the majority of the houses in the Charlotte, North Carolina area range from $15,000 to $30,000, right?
Okay.
That's probably the bread and butter of the pricing when it comes to a full roof replacement.
And that's typical asphalt shingles.
Correct.
Right.
So we rarely ever install 3-tab shingles anymore.
Okay.
A lot of new builders still do. I don't know why, but they're just an older shingle with probably a 15-year lifespan.
Okay.
Where we're installing architectural with 30 to 50-year warranties on them, right?
Wow. Okay.
The cost difference is not major. The material is superb compared to the 3-tab.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. It's night and day. It looks a lot better too.
It looks more. It looks more 3D.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Very
how
good.
I
Very
am
good.
able to tell the difference sometimes.
Yeah, the 3-tab are just a flat all around.
Yep.
So it really doesn't allow the water to flow the way water flows.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
The architectural will allow the water to have different paths and not, pool in one area or focus on one area. They tend to be a little bit more expensive, but not crazy. The value is really in the underlayment, which is what goes underneath the shingles. So the shingles are already a very good product. And then if you can install regular roofing paper, which is not going to give you longevity, or you can install synthetic felt paper, which is much better. And then we use what's called ice and water leak barrier in the vulnerable areas of the roof. So valleys around penetrations, and that material is phenomenal for areas that are prone to leak. So when you just go a little bit above and beyond, those warranties really suffice, right?
Well, and it protects you because you might not have warranty issues because you've done it right up front.
Yeah, exactly.
And protecting the homeowner as well.
Exactly. So it's peace of mind for us as the installers,
Right.
knowing, hey, this material is good, we're going to put it on. And plus, if there is a warranty claim and we have to go to the manufacturer, we put the claim. If they come and open up and you didn't put those materials, that warranty is null and void,
Yeah.
right? Just like your car. You don't get your oil change, you went in, your engine burned out. Well,
Maintain
you know
it,
what? It's
yeah.
on you. So we like to do things, by manufacturer specs, and then it helps out in case, God forbid, there's an issue.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, so you said it. We both have kind of said it. There's a ton of roofing companies out there, and I know if I've had a bad storm at my house or my neighbor's getting their roof done, I get flyers on my door. So I feel like time is of the essence too sometimes because, oh my gosh, worst case scenario, I have a leak. I've got to get this figured out.
Yep.
Who do I call? I'm going to call the quickest person.
Yep.
So, which is oftentimes not the best thing.
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about what should homeowners and or realtors with their clients be looking for in a roofer that's going to actually, like you've said this whole time, do it the right way and kind of go to bat for the homeowner and clients.
Yeah. So I always encourage my customers to get at least 3 estimates.
Okay.
And
Absolutely.
I know it's not good business practice. I should try to push them to use me all the time, but I want them to see what's out there.
Yeah.
I'm big on energy, right? Like I like to meet my customers in person. There's some people that I necessarily don't want to work with, and there might be people that don't want to work with me, and that's okay. I'd rather that happen up front
absolutely.
than later on during the transaction, right?
So let me stop you. So you actually go to the job sites.
Oh yes,
still.
absolutely,
Cool.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I like to
So
touch,
you're that
feel,
involved.
smell. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
I love my crews,
Yeah.
right? So like, I feel like me being there, we're all a part of the team, right? You know, there's a lot of camaraderie. We're big on cleanup, right? So we want to make sure that there's 3 or 4 different eyes on it. We're dealing with very small little nails
Yep.
that are a nuisance. A dog could step on it, a
Yep.
kid. So, you know, they're up there hustling the whole time. Once they get down, they're cleaning up, but they're tired, right? So we give it that fresh pair of eyes. So that's important. So I always emphasize to the customer the cleanliness. And every time we do a roof, that's our showroom. We don't have a physical location where you can come in
Yep,
and see
love
what a
that.
roof is done. So, you know, I care about the community. I care about the neighbors looking and
And
seeing a
'cause the
good
neighbors are
project.
looking,
You know what I
totally.
mean? And we get a ton of referral business from that, right?
Yeah.
Just last week on Friday, I did a roof. 3 of the neighbors came by and were like, "Hey, man, we're looking to do our roof. Can you come by? Your crew did an amazing job." You know,
Awesome.
and I always go and tell my crew, "Hey, this happened because of you guys, right?" Like it's the important part. But warranties are big, right? You want to look for warranties. You want to look for people who are certified with the manufacturer that they're dealing with.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm
Didn't think
certified
about
with
that.
GAF.
Okay.
So yes, I can install Owens Corning. You know, I can install Certainty. They're great shingles. But
They're
I'm
just different brands?
Yeah, just different brands. But I'm certified with GAF, so I have the backing of the manufacturer with my warranties. And for me, that's huge.
Interesting.
You know, they're a
Okay.
very reputable company, and they make a very excellent product. So I like to be certified with them. And then, like I said, energy. Is the person that you're dealing with going to respond when the poop hits the fan, right? Because we're in business. Things happen.
Things
right?
happen,
Not
totally.
not every transaction is going to be perfect. It's how well do you respond. A lot of these door knocker people, they could do fantastic work, right? But they're in and out. They're
Right.
chasing storms.
Transactional,
Right? That's
yeah.
their business model. And I'm not knocking it. It's a great business
Yeah.
model. But you're here today. You're in Alabama tomorrow. You're wherever there is. So if you have a roof done by somebody like that, and the next big rainstorm, it's leaking, if they come at all, it may be 3 weeks later, you know, or they
Then
just
you have
might
more
not come because
issues.
now they're making a ton of money
Right.
going, you know,
Right.
re-roofing other houses. So somebody that's local in nature, somebody that also focuses on repairs is a big person to hire because they're here. They're always here. If you see that their referral base is huge, right? They're not going to abandon you because they're referral based. They don't want a bad review.
And they're local.
They care,
Yeah.
right? So you wanna partner with somebody like that. Asking for referrals yourself, or you know, do you have any photos of jobs you've done? Any other references that we can call? That might be helpful as well.
Okay.
There's a ton of companies. There's Google these days is very helpful, right? Look for 5-star reviews and read the reviews, not just the
Definitely.
5 stars. Like why is people happy? Oh, this person put a beautiful color on my roof. Okay.
Anybody can do
how
that.
well is the color?
Yeah.
No, you know, this person was here. This person showed up. They cleaned up very well. They followed up with things of that nature that shows that there's interaction constantly from the business and not just somebody that's there to get a quick buck and leave.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about roofing materials in the Charlotte area. Largely, it's the asphalt shingles.
Yes.
Correct. Is there anything, I don't know, is roofing trendy? Like, is there anything different that you're seeing? Any technology? Does roofing have technology? I don't know.
Yeah, so our architectural shingles are trending, right? They're pretty. They do enhance the look of a house.
Yeah.
You know, we have these $1 million homes with beautiful architectural shingles. Color is a major difference, right? People want to see. A lot of times I'll go and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just want the same color I have," and I actually pitch them on it. I said, "Hey, listen, for the same cost, you can go with this color." And it'll enhance your shutters. It'll make the gutters pop, things of that nature. And they're like, "Wow, I didn't even look at it that way."
I think
know?
you did that with me, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't have $1 million house.
Yeah, so
and
you know
it did
you're
make
already
a
spending the
difference.
money. You might as
Right.
well enhance the curb appeal, right?
Right.
So if you do decide to sell later on, charcoal shingles, for instance, right? Great resale value.
What is that, a color?
Yeah, it's a color. It's a black shingle. One of the most popular here in Charlotte. So a lot of people with lighter roofs, if they have heavy tree coverage, although these shingles now have like an algae resistant in them, they still tend to get dirtier quicker, right?
And can look older than they
it can
are
look older,
and make
yeah.
people scared. Yeah.
So the charcoal looks sharp for a very long period
Yeah.
of time. So 10 years later, you decide to sell your house. It's great, you know. So we got that, but metal's making a big comeback in Charlotte. Before it was a very expensive product, right? But the price has come down.
Okay,
So now
interesting.
I've had customers, ask me for both, and when you compare the two, although they are more expensive than architectural, they're like, man, I'm willing to spend the money now because it's just going to make my house stand out from the rest, right? Most of the time right now, metal, we're seeing it on accent roofs. So from porches, dormers, things of that nature. And that really enhances the value too. Makes the roof just, a lot of these homes look the same, right? So if you want to make yours stand out, in the case of a sale or something, you can always add some
Does it
metal
sound
accents.
loud when it rains?
It can
always
sound
wondered
loud.
that.
Yeah, it does. And there's people who love it and there's people who hate it,
Yeah.
right? But I always emphasize that up front.
Right.
It is going to be a little bit noisier than your architectural shingles. And then some people are like, oh man, I love the relaxation of the way that sounds. Then you're the right candidate, right? Some people are like, oh my God, it drives me bananas. Okay, please don't put it because you're going to be calling me later on down the line. And there's really no solution for that, So yeah, very good question.
Talking about materials and stuff and colors, gutters. A lot of people don't think that gutters can come in different colors.
Yeah.
And I know like black gutters are a thing right now. Copper gutters?
Yeah, copper gutters, although more expensive than the regular gutters, they enhance the property big time.
And you guys do that?
Yeah, I always explain to people, it's like your clothing, right? You throw on your shirt, you have your shoes, but the belt is a nice accent, right? So the gutters are like the belt of the home.
Yeah.
They're what's going to divide the roof color from the actual siding on the house or the facade of the house, right? So when you put a nice brown, bronze, copper, or like black gutter, it really makes everything look really, really nice.
It pops a little bit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what is a roofing myth that you wish would go away?
So number one, my roof doesn't require any maintenance. 30 years, I don't have to touch it. I don't have to look at it. Big myth.
Guilty.
Right? Big myth. We already spoke about maintenance.
Yeah.
You definitely have to get it maintained. Roofing is astronomically priced. It is. It's a high value. But when you take that over the course of 25, 30 years and you divide it, it's way less expensive than, all these dinners that we're going out to constantly where you're eating it, and then.
Well, and literally it covers your house.
It's the number one protector. Yeah. It's a big deal. So yeah, a lot of people don't even want to get pricing because they think it's ridiculous. I grew up in Miami, Florida. Roofs are double and triple the price of what they are here. So a lot of times there's people who relocated here from different states. When I give them an estimate, they're like, that's it? Like literally that question. I'm like, yeah, where are you from? Oh, I'm from California. I'm from Florida. Oh, yeah, well, this is why you're thinking that, the size of the roof, makes a difference, the pitch of the roof. But, price per square is the way we price things out. Here in Charlotte, it's a big, big difference from other states.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes me think. We talked about your warranties. We've mentioned pricing several times. It is not always, but certainly can be a major expense. Do you offer financing?
We do. We offer financing through a third party. Very favorable. There's a lot of people that take advantage of it. And the majority of homeowners, like good homeowners, and there's a lot of them, I'd probably say 60% have prepared for the roof to be replaced. Right? So, hey, we've been saving for 5 years. We're ready to go. We're ready to move forward right now. I still offer them the financing because a lot of people may want to have liquidity, right? But a lot of people turn it down. So when we approach a roof replacement, number one, we're trying to get you to only have to pay your deductible, right? Is there storm damage? Is there enough evidence? We don't want the homeowner to have to pay when they're already paying a premium. If that's not the case, then we offer the financing, right? Round number two, no, we're not going to go that route. What's the price? And then, we try to give them the best price possible.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Okay, what's one piece of advice you'd give every homeowner to protect their roof? I know we've kind of talked about this many times. Maintain.
Yeah.
But anything else?
I mean, I do roofing, gutters, and siding. But every single time I approach a house, I give customers advice on every part of their home, even if I don't do it, right? Mortar on bricks, everything that I see that could be leaks, where I go and people are like, hey, I have a bad roof leak. I need you to attend to it. I go look at it, and it's not the roof. It's the actual mortar on the windowsill. That's, just minor things where they just would have maintained it. They would have avoided ceiling and interior damage, wood rot, all that stuff. So, once a year, call these contractors out there. There's plenty who do free estimates. Allow them to come to your house, assess what's going on, take a look at it. And then good contractors have a list of people that do things that they have relationships with. Like I have a chimney guy and chimney guys refer me, right? So things of that nature where if you see something, hey, it's not a roof leak, it's X, go ahead and call this guy and they can help you out, right? I'm constantly adding and removing people from my vendor list.
Yeah.
You know, if you're too expensive, if you're not showing up, if you're not picking up your phone, then I can't refer you to my clientele because my clientele is trusting me. You know?
Absolutely.
So the biggest thing for homeowners is, you know, have eyes on your house, you know, and we're busy. So if you don't write it down, if you don't ask Siri to remind you, you know, in October next year, you're going to forget, right? If you're on this, your home will last you. You protect the elements. I laugh because, you know, in Miami, everything is CBS concrete, right? Here, we're sticks and bricks, you know? So your homes tend to not last as long. So you have to be on top of it, right? Sealants in the corners, things that won't allow water to come in are huge, you know? And I go to a lot of homes that are just not well maintained, which I'm sure you see, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And the homeowner's just not aware. Like, oh, I didn't know that was there, you know? It's like...
Yeah, and everything is about water intrusion.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's on top from the roof or crawl space at the bottom, and all around with siding and windows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, to your point, making sure that is preventable can save a lot of headache in the future, for sure. So,
I mean, whether you're going to be in your house for the next 20 years or whether you're thinking of selling in 5, maintenance is the key point, right?
yes, and while you're there, and it's going to come up on inspection reports.
It's going to come up on
So
the
maintain
inspection
it while you're living there.
Yeah. And people get angry at home inspectors, but at the end of the day, they're just
They're doing
calling
their
out what you
job.
missed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're calling out what you missed. So
Yeah. Totally. So wrapping up a little bit, if a homeowner or someone going through the purchase process is unsure about the roof, or they have some questions, or there was something on the inspection report, or there was a bad storm, whatever, what would be their next step with you?
Yeah, I say when in doubt, call us out.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Call us out. We're going to take a good look at it. We're going to take photos. We're going to write up a report. We're going to submit an estimate if a repair is required. And what that does is multiple things. Number one, you're prepared for the cost if you have to get it done.
Yeah.
Number two, it's going to allow the brokers to negotiate on your behalf. Number three, if you have to get your roof replaced and you're staying in your home, for instance, send it to your insurance company. Hey, I just got a new roof. You're going to get a price reduction on your premium. So just knowing, right? And people would rather not know.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like your health.
Yeah.
I'd rather not go to the doctor. I'd rather not know. If I feel good, I don't need to worry about it. But it's quite the contrary, right? If we know and we're aware, we could prepare.
Yeah.
You know? So I always encourage that. Just call us out. It doesn't cost anything. We'll come assess everything that needs to get done. And we'll create a plan. Hey, you know, how important is this? Well, I estimated 3 things. Here's the order of priority. This has to be done tomorrow. Yeah. This one could be done next year. You know, we'll put the plan together. We keep all our records in our system. You know, you call us in a year, the price will still be there. If we have to modify, we can do that at that time. But most of the time we try to stick to our guns, you know, and just tell people what needs to get done in a timely fashion.
What about timing, both as in getting you out there and then the day of?
Yeah.
Is it just a day, and how far are you booked out normally?
That's
Talk about that a little bit.
Great question. So we have a strict policy when it comes to that. So for estimates or inspections, we're always out within 1 to 2 business days to assess the property. You'll always have that estimate the same day or the report the same day. For repairs, we're always 2 to 4 business days out. And for full roof replacements, we're always 3 to 5 business days out. Okay. So we run a lot of crews, so we can constantly do roofs.
Fast.
It's
all of that's fast.
It's very good. And I've been with my crews for a long period of time. So we know the pace we need to work at. We know how we got to get things done. We have good relationships. These are not guys that I just met yesterday.
Sure.
So yeah, we try to always remain because these are important items. If your roof is leaking, we don't have time. There's always rainstorm coming next. Yeah. You know, for warranties, if somebody calls us out for a warranty after we did the work, we're out there within 24 to 48 hours, right? 1 to 2 business days. We're going out there. We're assessing that problem. We drop everything we're doing. That's number 1 priority.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it is because, like I said, we're referral based.
Yeah.
You have to do the right thing. That's the way people
back
are going to
your
refer
product.
you.
Yeah. So the actual, I'm getting my roof replaced today, for example. It's loud and noisy and messy. Is it, I know it depends on the size, of course, but done in 1 day?
Yeah, most of the time, 90% of the roofs are done in 1 day. Yeah. Some of these houses are really big. We'll take up 1 to 2 business days. If it does go into day 2, it's typically like quality control and cleanup.
Okay.
You know, we'll spend till sundown, replacing the roof.
Yep.
And then once that sun is not there anymore, it's hard to find nails. So we'll always go back the next day. We run these huge magnets through the landscaping and stuff, make sure we get all the nails. We go back 2 to 3 times, make sure all that's cleaned up. Take all the extra materials that are there, just leave it like nothing's ever happened, you know? And thank God we get a lot of compliments on that. That's one of the main things that the homeowner realizes.
Yeah.
My God, it's like seamless. It looks like nobody was ever here and you just did a major construction.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I like to encourage my crew, clean throughout your time there. So if we're demoing a roof, by noon, I try to have the trailer gone with all the old materials, right? Because the neighbors are looking. They're walking their dogs, right? They're looking. So when they see a big mess, it's like, whoa, it's chaotic. And
I don't want to deal with that.
And it brings fear.
Yeah.
If you clean throughout the whole time, wow, these guys were here, 7:30 in the morning. By noon, all the garbage was gone.
They're professional.
Yeah, exactly. And then you let the job speak for itself,
Yeah. Yep. So I think I just have one more thing, just piggybacking on everything that we've talked about. So roofing, gutters, and siding. I know, of course, you primarily focus on roofing.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about gutters. Is there anything else you want to say about siding or?
So the reason we emphasize siding is because a lot of siding touches the roof line.
Yep.
So if you want to properly flash it, you got to remove siding, get underneath it, do it the right way. So siding here, if you have vinyl, for instance, fiber cement, very good product. There's the old Masonite stuff that's going rotten everywhere. People are aware of that.
Do you repair Masonite?
We do. We can repair it so long as it's not totally rotten, right? Because they go overlapped over each other from the bottom up.
That is so hard to find, you guys.
Yes. So what happens is if it's really in bad shape and you try to repair one piece, you'll break the others, and it's like Pandora's box. But we're very upfront about that. Hey, look, this is what's going to happen. We're going to try to repair this for you. If we can't, here's your estimate at worst case scenario, right? When we come on the job site, the goal is to just do that 1-2 pieces that are rotten, and then we'll adjust the invoice as needed. But, we always quote them worst case scenario so they know the absolute worst outcome, Nice. It is a horrible product.
Yes, I've had many issues.
But when it comes to just home maintenance, again, we don't paint, right? But I always tell homeowners, how bad is your paint? If you keep your house painted with fresh paint, it's going to protect that siding.
No matter what the product is.
No matter what the product is. So by just, having your home freshly painted, all the nails that pop out, sealed, that siding is going to give you, a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? So,
totally.
Yep.
Cool. So again, thank you so much, Tony, for being here and taking time away from your Monday morning. Lots of awesome information. And again, I've known you for several years now. I've used you personally, refer you. You're my number one roofer for sure to all my clients. And I've had nothing but awesome feedback.
Thank you
so
very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And you guys, please, if you have any other questions about roofing or this sparked, maybe you think that you might want to go look at your roof and have it checked out, or your gutters or your siding. Please reach out to me and I'll connect you with Tony, or reach out to Tony directly, and he and his team will certainly take care of you and do a fantastic job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica.